GyroscopeMe.com, the hottest online radio station in the world. GS Radio all day, all night, worldwide. Powered by Gyroscope Media Group, LLC.
GS Radio, the best internet radio station worldwide. Providing the best in music and talk shows. Go to www.gsradionj.com and check out the best internet station in the world. You're listening to GS Radio Internet Radio Station powered by GMG LLC.
In the beginning there was Jack, and Jack had a groove. And after a while, a deep sleep fell upon him, and he went looking for a new groove. He began looking for a new nation, and it had to be a soulful nation. And he found it, and it was Soulful House Nation. And he saw a building. It was a tall building. It had 10 stories. And he entered the building and got on the elevator and pushed the 10th floor, but it stopped on the 8th floor. And that's where he found his new groove. And he began to jack and jack and jack and jack. And he knew that this was it. It was Soulful House Nation on the 8th floor. Get ready, get ready, get ready.
I'm coming to you live from the 8th floor. Whew. Folks, we got another one. We got another one of those good ones. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So listen, I'm going to ask everybody to come on the live now, buckle up. There's multiple places you can get us. You can get us here on Facebook. You can get us on Twitter, Twitch, Vimeo, YouTube, and some other places too. And just want to thank everybody who comes out and hangs out every week. We invite you to participate in the conversation in the chat room and speak your piece. So hey, listen, here's what's super exciting. So just a quick recap. Last week, what we're going to play the hottest song of the week according to Track Source in the Soulful House category. We're going to talk about some stuff that's up and coming. Then we're going to have we're going to play an old school track, and they're going to bring on our special guest, ladies and gentlemen. We have Cool Lou in the house. Let me repeat that one more time because some of you didn't get it. We have Cool Lou in the house. All right. So listen, Chuck, let's start off like we usually do. We have a brand new number one according to Track Source. It was actually lingering for a little bit, but just so you know, in our Shazam Free Zone, which follows this show, we play stuff that we think you should hear. and it's brand new stuff, and for the most part you haven't heard it, but you should know about it. So one of the songs that we played in our Shazam Free Zone actually several weeks ago was by Immaculate and Zernell, and it's called Holy Ghost Power. So we're going to play a little snippet of that, because you know Facebook has this nasty little habit of shutting us down and muting us out, and then we're going to move on with the show. So Chat, can you give us a few bars on that? So anyway, while we're getting that together here, I just want to tell you about the weekend we had this weekend. In particular, Friday night was a big night in the Soulful House community. We're going to talk about that in depth a little bit later. And also, too, we have a gentleman that's coming on that's been in the game for a long time. I mean long with a long time. And you know what's good about when you bring on a gentleman like this is that not only can you talk about what's going on today, but you can also talk about some of the beginnings of this stuff. And we're going to discuss some of that stuff too. So, you know, it's exciting. I'm super excited about that. So, anyway, one more thing. You know what we'll do? You know what I'm going to do? Instead, I'm just going to have that conversation with you, and then we'll come back to some of the music in a little bit. But, so, let's just talk about, there's a couple cuts that I want you to be aware of. And, of course, the one is Holy Ghost Power. That's the one that's the number one song now. Again, we played that several weeks ago, and now that song is number one on Track Source in the Soulful House category. It's a great track. You're going to see what I mean. We're going to play it in Shazam Free Zone. But I got another track I want to tell you about that is like, I'm loving this. This is a rework from DJ Irv. And he does a lot of stuff. He's been around for a lot of years. And he made this track called, it's the Roxanne rework. So, I don't know, I'm sure most of you have heard of the group The Police. They were really big back in the 80s. Maybe the 90s, and after that they kind of fell back a little bit. And then, of course, the lead singer Sting, and they made this actually is a rock track called Roxanne. And he reworked it with a house beat. It was like, okay, I'm feeling you on this. So we need to play it. I'm going to play that in the Shazam Free Zone, so watch out for that. Okay. A couple other things that I wanted to share with you while we're waiting here. This weekend, there were two major events. Let me say there were three events. Chillax did his thing down at Dragonfly, and that was sort of a birthday party. And that was a really big deal. And as a fellow Sagittarian, you know it was all that. Again, got to get that in there for us Sagittarians. I mean, I'm just curious, how many Sagittarius people out there, by the way, all us Sagittarians will agree that that really is the best sign. We're going with that. So, that's happened. That he had so he had his birthday thing. Also, Jihad Muhammad had his birthday this weekend. His birthday bash this weekend, and his lineup was crazy. But before I tell you about that, I just want to give a big shout out to Marcus Garrett, House the Runway. Because of him, we reconnected Cool Lou because of him. So just want to give a big shout out to Marcus Garrett, Scenario Entertainment, House the Runway. So I want you to share. Second, I want to tell everybody, thank you for all the love we're getting on the show. We do it on Facebook, but Facebook is kind of the least of where we get our numbers from. But the website, we're on Twitch, we're on Twitter, we're on Vimeo, we're in several other places, and now we're averaging anywhere from 22 to 2,500 live views a week, and really internationally, all over the world with this. So I want to thank you for the support on that. Okay. Then, December 16th, DJ Chillax is doing his annual Black and Red. That's going to be a big event. But hey, here's what's special. Our special guest next week is DJ Chillax. So we're going to talk about what he's up to, what's going on. We're going to talk about the Black and Red. December 18th, the final week, and we're going to close out the year and come back next year. Other than some special things here and there, we're going to have Roland Clark. That's right, Roland Clark. So we got that happening. And then, too, we're going to be doing some other things you're going to find pretty interesting when we come back next year. We got some things we're going to do. I'm not going to say differently, but we're gonna blow up some things, which is exciting. So, anyway, that's happening. So let's do this. So, Chuck, how are you doing over there? Okay. All right. So here's what we'll do. Let's do one more thing. He should be up and running. I just would like a minute, and just to give you a couple of songs here. And now, there's a lot of people doing remixes, retouches, that sort of thing. You can find them in Bandcamp. You can find them in TrackSource and other places. Can we bring our guests in? I just want to ask our guests some other questions before we get into the full-scale interview here. All right. Okay.
Yep.
Cool Lou, how are you, sir?
I am good. I am well. I am blessed. I am honored to be here with Mr. Dan Dan.
Listen, no.
DJ Dan Dan.
You got that backwards, brother. You got that backwards. You're the one who's been in the game, like, I'm going to say, in the beginning, there was Cool Lou. Anyway.
I wish it was that. Listen, I had people I looked up to, too,
Okay. Well, we're working on, for whatever reason, we got a little technical difficulty, but we can do this while we're waiting. If not, then we're going to go right into the interview. But,
okay.
One of the things I like to do is I like to ask, on particular songs, do you think it would make a good house track or not? Okay. So, okay. Here's a song.
Okay.
House track or Leave It Alone? Wifey by Next. Should we make a house track or should we just leave it alone? What do you say?
House track. That's I'm on the fence with that one, man. You see how we have to put a spin on it. And you know who I think can do that?
Who is that?
I know my man Doughboy.
Okay.
He does a lot of re-rubs.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
I always want to see Beloved take a hack at that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I think that would be okay. So I would have to be on the fence until I hear it.
Okay.
Because with me, it was like, no, I don't know, wifey. I don't know about that. Really, honestly.
Okay. How about this track? Excuse me a sec.
And bless you.
Thank you. I've mentioned this on the show before, but I knew a guy who once died from a cough. Of course, at the time, he was in his neighbor's closet. Anyway. Okay. All right. Anyway. I'm going to give you one more, and then you know what? We're just going to go with the interview, and then when we get the music going, we'll get the music going here.
Okay.
Okay, so how about this one? Should we make it a house track or not? Okay. A Diva Freak Remember one freak like me?
Yeah, I can see that.
You can see that? Okay.
I can see that.
Okay.
I can really see that. Because soon as you said that, I seen some girls spinning around, have a little sachet on, spinning. Yeah, I can see that happen.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
All right. Okay. All right. Okay. So listen, what we're gonna do right now, I guess we have some challenges on the other end. I don't know what happened there, but we're gonna keep it moving. And what I want to do is I want to get into the interview portion here.
Okay.
I think that's gonna be a good look here, folks. Y'all better get with me. All right. So here we go. So let's just start off with the easy stuff and just tell us a little bit about you.
About me. Okay. I was surrounded by music. My mother was a Patti LaBelle, James Brown whispers, a Teddy Pendergrass type person. You know, in the beginning it was like, I don't like this stuff. What are you listening to? What is this? And eventually you start liking it. Then I grew into my own. Of course you get the first taste of the disco music because I was born in '72. I came up in North Carolina, Durham, actually. So the music was different down there versus the music that they played in the metro area, Jersey, New York. So we would get all the R&B stuff. We wouldn't get too many. Now they call classics. I remember hearing one classic that made it down there, Heartbeat.
Okay,
Tana Gardner. Yeah, Tana. So that was a big deal. I came up in the era of the Curtis Blow, Sugar Hill Gang, Treacherous 3, and the Furious 5. And that was my background. So we came from North Carolina. We moved from North Carolina, moved to Jersey, to be exact. I moved to 4th Street, right off of Central Avenue. Okay. I remember being there for a couple of months. I remember because I was able to start Success Avenue School. We actually got burnt out. And lo and behold, to me, the Red Cross came in and they took us to Lincoln Motel. That's where we had to stay. They gave us vouchers and stuff like that. I know you remember the fast food restaurant Geno's.
Geno's?
Yeah, Geno's.
Now see, okay, watch this, Kulu.
Okay.
I only publicly admit to being 26 years old. So the way I know about did I say something funny? Anyway, the way I know about Geno's is from research. Okay.
I understand. We're gonna leave it there.
Okay.
And now, we're staying down there. I'm in the room. It just happened to be on the weekend when we was down there. I'm hearing music. I'm hearing the boom, boom, boom. I'm like, what in the world is going on here? Needless to say, I was right at the Zans, right then and there, at 9, 10 years old.
Oh, wow.
Didn't even know any better. Didn't know what was going on.
Wow.
But I always had a fondness for music. I just grew up around it. It just came to me. I was the one that was actually recording off the radio, taking stuff back down south. People were trying to steal my tapes. So we had the boom. Yeah. My brother was trying to steal my tapes. Cousins trying to steal my tapes. Friends were trying to get them. And, that was way before we were dubbing anything. So that was the original. Come on, you can't get that. No. I played to the tape pop. Like that. I think around about 84, 85, I really got exposed to turntables, DJing. And I was excited about it. Went over a friend of mine's house at the time. You might have heard of him, DJ Spinbag.
Oh, okay, sure.
And that really mesmerized me. Like, you can manipulate songs and do this and that, and just do what you want to at will, and make it sound good. I got home. I went home. Mom, you gotta give me some turntables. And that was the beginning of my Kulu expedition. Didn't know it was gonna be like it is now, or get into what was actually happening.
Okay.
For me, in the near future, Turntables, equipment.
Okay, wait. Before we
You
go
know.
there, before we go there for a
Okay.
minute. All right.
Okay.
Okay. So the way you got started with music is you heard a buddy of yours playing and working decks and stuff, and
Yeah.
that
You
took
know.
you from just being a list, because most people just listen and or dance, to
Right.
saying, hey, wait a minute, I want to make that happen. What took over your body that said, hey, listen, I gotta do this?
I've, I had the parties. I went to parties as a younger. Younger. You see how people work around. The lights, and it just amaze you and this and that. I never got a chance to go to Twin City because I was on the other side of town. I lived on Hayes Street in the community. So going down to Twin City was like unheard of, especially by myself because nobody else was talking about going down there. Anyway, it was like the experience that I had with the little parties that was around in that era, just got me wanting to do the same thing. Even though I just love music at the time, I just wanted to do the same thing. It was just a hobby. It just
Right.
wanted to basically have something to do.
Okay.
Most people go outside, they want to sell drugs, they want to do this and that. I wasn't like that. Listen to me. Everybody was scared of the police. I was scared of my mama.
Okay.
Could you imagine?
Oh yeah, Mons wasn't playing that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, how about you mentioned Spin Bad? Who were some of
Yeah.
your other earlier influences?
Influences. As a matter of fact, Punch and Shank was before I even knew who they were.
Okay.
I used to hear those Twin City tapes, and I used to go out and try to buy every record I heard on that tape at the time. Luckily at the time it was really easy to get the music like that. I was still getting hip hop song stuff and stuff too, but my main objective was getting everything that was on that tape. And used to go downtown. I had a little job when I was in high school, so it was like Steven Records was the one, was the place. What was it? Famous Ramus or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna go with the flaw from Patterson.
Yeah, he had all the music down there. Even if you didn't want to hear, yeah, it sounds like this. That's what you want. And he'll sell you something. You get home, it's like, yo, what's this? It's not what I wanted. But you kept it anyway, and then find out it was something that you needed, even though you didn't want it right then and there. Yeah, I bought records here and there. Can we talk about the equipment now?
In a little bit, we're gonna talk quick.
So my first set of turntables were Techniques.
Hold on. We're gonna go deep into the equipment.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to say okay.
Okay.
But now, how about this? How about some of your favorite artists from back in the day?
Favorite artists. My favorite artist. I like the diva. Still do.
Okay, Patterson.
Her vocals are like crazy. Then you always have a lot of the Chicago stuff. They were more instrumentals than anything else. So you have the Adonis, Tyree Cooper. You have the another lady from Chicago, Liz Torres.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I can't get enough.
Please,
What?
please.
Yes, like that. And then as I got deeper into the music, I started to pick up on what Tony Humphries was playing on the radio. So you got more of those classics that was kind of brushing across what Larry Levan was playing at the time. I remember hearing about a lot of the music that I didn't know what was popular at the time that was outside of SOULFUL records. You got the little Lee Holloways, the Hit and Run, the Touch and Go, and all that other kind of stuff. That was the standard, at the time. After a while, it's like, come on, it's got to be way more to it than this. There's SOULFUL, and oh man, it's so many names.
Yeah, you talking pre-Shazam too.
Yeah, it's so much music that I like. It's all rushing to try to get out at one time. I can't even think of everything that comes out that I have liked at one time too. The sound. I just love the music. It just did something to me always. You know, I always felt that music can always set you free. You know, and I know for sure music always sets that spot in time, whether good, bad, or indifferent. Once you hear that song, it'll take you right back there. So like, stuff that I'm talking about like right now, it takes me back to a really good time. You know.
Cool, Lou. Listen to this.
Yes.
When you said Evelyn Torres can't get enough,
it
takes me to El Bacon. This place in Elizabeth.
Okay.
And this DJ who was like, forget about it. He was the first person I ever saw play with 3 turntables. His name, Mike McKnight. And the way he did that track, forget about it. And then I also saw her perform live. So
really?
You know, so just to your point, it's amazing how when you hear a song, especially like today, if you hear a song, you just hear the song and that's it. But when you hear songs from back in the day or classics, it takes you to a place. So when you said that, it took me right to El Bacon.
Yeah, exactly. I know. And you know what I was doing? I was crushed up in my room, trying not to make too much noise. But you know, I had my little mixer, my little BD1, the Technique. I had a New Park mixer that I had borrowed from somebody that actually worked at Twin City. I was mad because he had took it back. I had it for almost a year. And you know, I had some makeshift speakers, and I used to play my stuff. I was horrible at the time, but you know, I was still trying. But I was good enough to where my neighbors would want to come downstairs and listen to what I was doing.
Well, you know, that's the thing about it. You know, if that tells you also that you have an ear for what people are checking for, because if your neighbors want to hear it, and I'm guessing it was unsolicited, meaning they didn't say, "Hey, cool Lou, could you hit us off lovely?" Anyway, you're just playing it. Okay, all right, can't stop my head.
Yeah, listen to me. You know what I would give right now to hear some of those tapes I did in the beginning? I think I would give my left hand a couple of toes and everything else just to hear it.
Now, well, let's jump to the equipment.
Okay.
So, I'm going to take a wild guess and say that you noticed that equipment is different today than it was back.
Yes.
But watch this. Let me just do the progression real quick, and then I want you to jump in and let's talk about your history with this stuff. Okay.
Okay.
So records. Remember records. Then from records, we went to CDs.
Yep.
From CDs.
I hated it. I didn't want to oh man. I was fighting it the whole time. I didn't want to do it.
Listen. I'm in the same club, but I'll get to you in a minute. I want to just go through the scenarios. Okay, so we went from records to CDs to laptops to flash drives, and now some people are straight up streaming. Okay, right. In the interim, that time, it was turntables, it was decks, it's controllers,
right?
And some people play straight from a laptop. Let's talk about that from the beginning and your way of thinking. And to be fair, I've been letting go, kicking and screaming too. Just so you know.
Okay.
So we're on the same page with that. So talk to us about your progression here.
Me, of course, I started off with the belt-driven turntables. I was telling you, the BD12, BD1s, straight arm.
Okay,
man, gotcha. You know how many pennies I had to put on the head to keep it down? You know how many parties I tried to do with that? Get the hum, no matter how much ground you had.
And then if somebody jumped up and down, forget about
it. Oh my God, are you kidding me? You know, I stuck with those for a little bit. I took a little hiatus. I was doing all this stuff in high school. I was still making tapes for people in high school because I went to high school in '86. I actually graduated from Arts High.
Okay.
I came out in '90. Yep, came out in '90. But I went there for art, not for music.
Okay.
But I could have gone there for music because, you know, I had an interest in learning notes and all this other kind of stuff, but art was a little bit more feasible for me. But getting back to the equipment, turntables. I I got my first set of 1200s around 91.
Mm-hmm.
But I've always played on the 1200s.
Okay.
It's a different monster going from belt driven to direct drive.
Yes.
Trying to control the pitch with your fingers and all this other kind of stuff. It's not going to happen. I had crates and crates and crates and crates of records.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, when you try to do parties, you try to condense everything down.
Sure.
And you still never have all the right records. Okay. Mm-hmm. Not to mention that you're always having like 7, 8 crates of records, and then everybody wants to help you into the party. But then when it's time to break down, everybody tune. What? Oh my God, you kidding me? My back broke carrying all the stuff.
Oh, yeah.
all over the place. Yeah. And you know, around, I think it was around about 96, 97 is when the CD players were coming in. Mm-hmm. I remember because I think the first Pioneer CDJs was the 500s. No, the 900s. They were the big ones. Okay. I can't. Was it the 5?
Yeah, I think it was like when they had
the big
the
ones.
CDJs. They had these. Yeah, I think
the ones that you could do karaoke with too.
Yep. I don't remember the exact model number.
Yeah, but those was it. What happened was I met a guy, Ross, Deverett Ross. I don't know if you're familiar with him.
No.
Well, if you know Vernon,
okay.
you know, you got to see Ross. You can't miss him.
Okay.
Tall, light-skinned guy.
Okay. Okay.
DJ Ross. He's been around for a long time too.
Okay.
He put me into the CD game. I was kicking and screaming. I was like, man, I do not want to do this and this and that. But I seen it set up, and he had 2 crates of CDs that had everything that you could possibly want to play in the folders. And you come in, speaker, amp, this and that, boom, you out. And I'm like, wow, okay. Now, on top of that, you had to change everything over to CD from vinyl. I was kicking and screaming about that. You know how long it took to transfer stuff over?
Yeah.
You know, these songs are like 7, 8 minutes long.
Yes.
And then you get one that has a skip in it, and you got to start over again because you can't. You got to re-record it again because you can't use that track.
Got you. Oh yeah.
Yeah, but that transition was pretty sweet. I like that. You know, when they actually got you to be able to manipulate the CDs with the cutting and scratching, which was the I think that was the MK 1000s. The Pioneer did.
Yes.
That just elevated the whole game for everybody that actually still wanted that vinyl feel. You know, I remember being on those things, and I felt like I was Funkmaster Flex on that thing. But cutting and scratching wasn't my big deal. You know, it really wasn't. So you know, that was something that actually I like to have the idea of using, but didn't want to really use it. You know what I'm talking about?
Gotcha.
As far as the transfer from to CDJs to the controllers to the media players, I fought that too.
Okay.
I really did, because it was another transition. Now you got to take your stuff digitally to another format to try to work another type of instrument that you had to relearn how to use. And so you know, eventually I succumbed to that. I started off with something small, you know, a little Newmark controller, and then I'm like, man, this is Fisher Price. I can't use this. I'm a professional. How dare I do such things like this? Use such things, and you know, eventually I got into the other controllers. I had a DD JSR, that's 2-channel Pioneer controller, and then I upgraded to a 1000, the SRT. Okay, that's what I use now. I'm thinking about to getting the XDJ SZ, but I'm looking at that price. It's like $2,500
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know about that right now.
So let's just talk about that for a minute.
Hmm.
You know, there's a lot of DJs out there. Let's go back this transition. There were a lot of
Okay.
DJs who said, "Hey, if you weren't playing on vinyl, you weren't a real DJ." And
Ah.
then many of
Hmm.
them eventually moved over, and there were just so many different things you could do with, like the decks and stuff that you just couldn't
Right.
do on a on vinyl. For example,
But
loop.
you
You couldn't
could
loop. Yeah, but
understand this when you had a sampler and you knew how to manipulate it. That was the beginning of that transition that they just put everything on that deck.
right. My point though is that if you had straight turntables, you
Hmm.
can't loop. You know,
No,
you can't loop.
unless
There's
you had two
certain
albums.
Yeah, but even then, that was like, for most people, that really wasn't workable. Then also, too, there's effects and things of that nature that you could do
Hmm.
on these newfangled things. So all
Yeah.
I thought was pretty interesting. But now, wait a minute, it gets more exciting. And I'm DJ kicking and screaming too, DJ K and S.
Hey, listen, I understand completely.
Cause you
I'm
know
with
what?
you all the way.
Cause you know what it is? It's like you're making it happen. You
Hmm.
got your flow, and what you're asking me to do is to stop what I'm doing and relearn this whole other thing. You know
Yes.
there's going to be a learning curve. It's
Right.
just sometimes it's more convenient to do what you've been doing, even though if you do something different, it's going to give you a better. Okay, watch this. So finally, I'm telling you me personally, I said, okay, I'm going to go with the CDs. By
Right.
now, I'm into the CD. I've been playing CDs. I had, I pioneer access, but I played on a Dana 2500. I played on that.
Right. I know
But
exactly which one you're talking about.
but now watch this. Prior to that, I had those little things for certain songs. The little like the Techniques had these little I'm gonna call them CD pads or whatever, for lack of a better word. You put the little
Uh-huh.
CD in, close the top up, and boom, you play. Now,
Right.
I would do that. Let's say if I didn't have to mix something, or if I had like a scenario where I put several songs on there, and I could just let that play. So
Right.
now I'm in the DJ world. I'm into the CD world, and really, laptops are knocking on my door, ringing my bell, ding, 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 and
Yeah.
knocking,
Yeah.
ding, ding, kicking on the door, and I'm ignoring it. I'm ignoring it. Now I'm gonna tell you what made me finally do it, because I bought the software. I bought the software in the beginning, and in the beginning I did what a lot of DJs do. I bought Virtual DJ,
Okay.
but then I don't know. I bumped into Tractor. I've been on that ever since. But here's the thing. So I knew about it. I had it at least 6 months to a year, and then I DJ'd for this not for grammar school in Ramsey, New Jersey,
Hmm.
and all my equipment got rained on, and I couldn't work
Ooh.
the equipment. So now this happened Friday. The wedding is Saturday. So I call up one of my buddies to get some speakers and all that kind of stuff like that. And then what happened is I had the program Virtual DJ on my laptop.
Hmm.
So I played from my laptop to do his event, his wedding,
Wow.
and that had gotten me into that. So then I started the process of switching things over. And again, I rocked Virtual DJ for a while. By the way, I still have Virtual DJ, and in my opinion, it's the best all-around program. But I fell into Tractor, and boom, that's been
Okay.
it. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So now, okay, I'm at software, and now the thing is flash drive, which I can play on, but that's not my preference. But let's take it from you're at CDJs, or you're at decks. Now you got to move into laptops,
Hmm.
kicking and screaming. What happened?
Yep. I just went with the flow. I just went with the flow. I keep a good circle of people around me that supply me with music when I need to. As a matter of fact, my boy DJ Smell, he's a good friend of mine, and he keeps me with all types of music that I need. Stuff I ask for. Hey, I need this. Check your email. Thank you. I appreciate that. But as far as the thumb drives and all that stuff, I'm there. I just it's just so different. You know, I like certain versions of certain music like that I had that I got to go back and look for it and try to find and put it back on on something that I could play now. You know, because I hear everybody play this and that, but they're not going back to the classic, not like the main line, not like the my first mistake. I'm talking about that 80s,
That
90s
circles
stuff
love
that
you.
you don't really hear too much anymore. I have a lot of that because I kind of I know I have it. I prided myself on. I don't know if you remember Lift Every Voice.
Of course,
Lift
that's
Every
my.
Voice
That,
with Mass
so
Order.
listen to this. Listen to this.
Hmm.
That's my favorite house music song of all time.
Okay. Now, did you get the test presses of those, the bootlegs? The ones
Oh
that
no.
sounded really horrible.
No, I didn't have that. I didn't have that.
Oh my
Okay.
God, man. That's the best version of it.
Oh, I
That's
should
the best
seek out the
version of
ones
it.
that sound terrible.
I
Okay.
still have them. I
Okay.
still got it. That right there. I'm gonna have to send that to you so you can
Okay.
listen to it. I'm telling you.
All
Oh
right.
man, I was buying hella records way back then when all that stuff came out. But
Okay.
yeah, um, I'm just going with the flow.
Yeah.
I've been a little bit dormant for the past few years, but you know, it's I'm creeping back out there because this music thing is something that I've always loved. I have a saying is like once it stopped being fun, I'll stop doing it. It's still fun.
Still fun.
It's
Absolutely.
still so fun.
Absolutely.
It's not going to stop. Not at all.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Not at all.
So let's ask this question. All right.
Mhm.
So two of the main, I'm gonna say, sources of conversation. I'm gonna put it that way.
Okay.
I'm gonna say a four-letter word, but
Okay.
before I say that four-letter word that starts with S, think of a four-letter word that starts with S. Just
I'm gonna
hold on
write
to
this
that.
down.
Yeah, hold on
Okay.
to that. All right. Now, there's a lot of people who say, forget about controllers, that's not real DJing, that, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, here's my conversation. I just want to get your thoughts.
Hmm.
Now, a lot of these people have decks, and
Right.
decks are great. But let's say you got two decks, like say the 3000s and the A9 mixer.
Hmm.
You're looking at 10 G's by the time you get everything all done.
No. 15. The
Okay,
decks
so
are like 4,200 a piece.
well, you can get them. You can get them cheaper, but I'm just saying. But it's
Okay.
not cheap. So now, do I say to myself? You tell me. Do I say to myself, I gotta wait till I get an extra 10 G's or whatever the number is, 10 to 15 G's, before I can start playing, or should I get something I can afford and start playing? And by the way, does the audience care? Does the is it sounding that much different? As a matter of fact, I may have more things I can do on that controller than I do on those decks.
I'm gonna give you a prime example, and your boy
So I
uses
want you to
tractor.
jump in on
Hmm.
this. And what's your thoughts? All right.
My thoughts. This is me because I had this debate with Tamil. I had this debate with DJ Mustafa too. This is my thing. I can see how someone would say, "Oh, if you don't play on the decks, you're not a real DJ. A controller is this and that. Anybody can get a controller and call himself a DJ." No, they can't. There's still a certain amount of skill that's needed to be able to manipulate the equipment to sound the way you want it to. Okay, now granted, you paying a higher price tag, the sound quality is going to be better, of course, if that's what you're looking for. Me, I'm not trying to spend $15,000 or whatever the case is just in the equipment, or bring that out to someone that wants to pay me $200 to do their wedding. That doesn't add up. Does not make sense to me at all.
Right.
It does not make sense. But to get to what you were saying, I like the controllers. I do. I like the decks. I can play on both. So that makes me wrong for liking the convenience of a controller versus carrying around extra equipment that's not people are not worthy of seeing. No,
Hey.
people are not going to care what you're playing on. You got Tommy Davis. This
Yes.
Joker kills it. When I say he
Yes.
kills it,
Yes.
he murders everything on the controller.
What a
And I look at the video and I'm like, nobody said anything to him at all.
He's not having it.
Nobody.
You know who else?
Nobody.
You know who else plays on a controller?
Who's that?
Hippie Torales. And you know what
Really?
they play with?
Mm-hmm.
They play the same thing I play. They play Tractor, which Tractor is unusual in this marketplace.
Yeah, Tractor.
It's mostly
I tried
Serato
Tractor.
driven, which is fine. I could play. I have all three of them. Actually four. I have
Yeah.
Serato, Virtual DJ, Record Box. I have DJ Pro, PC DJ. So I got all of them. But my preference. See, for me, it's like, do you like a Chevy or do you like a Ford? Do you like a
Right.
Caddy or do you like a Lincoln? You follow what I'm saying? And-
Well, guess what? You put the key in and start, and you're gonna drive to the same place. For real,
Yeah,
I'm like
yeah.
that too. I know exactly what you mean. I'm simple. You know, I started off with lower budget stuff. My first CD players were American DJs,
Okay, I still got
and
married.
so you understand.
I
But
feel
guess
that.
what? Nobody cared what I played. I mean, what I was playing on. Guess what? I made it sound good. That was the whole purpose of it. I still got my 1200s at home. I got. What difference does it make? I came up through the ranks where I graduated to the point where I am able to play on what I want with of my discretion. You know, I'm not going to say that, you know, somebody said something about controllers versus the media players and this and that and da da da. Get into that debate. The only thing that I can see that would make somebody say that is the availability of the equipment with the lower price. Anybody can call himself a DJ out their bedroom. All you have to do is just get a subscription to Spotify or whoever else, and you can get music.
Right.
And call yourself a DJ. But then that doesn't make them good.
Okay, so listen to this. Let's have that conversation for a little bit. All right. Most of the time, it's not what you play on; it's how you play and how you work.
Of course.
But let's go back to something else that's being said. Oh, well, now they make these controllers, so now for less than $1,000, I can get in and call myself a DJ. Well, you know what? Hey, this is what I've often wondered. So who decided, even if you've been in the game for 30 years, who decided you were a DJ? Well, you did. Who decided that
Exactly.
Muhammad Ali was the greatest? He did.
He did.
Yeah. So now,
But he showed and proved, though.
yeah, and exactly. So again, like now you can take somebody, and this I just want to just talk it out if we can for a minute. You can
Okay.
take somebody now, and I could get them in a training program, and within 6 weeks they can cover many things.
Right.
Let's say, for example, they could be in a store and playing in a store, and I've seen it in stores like in the mall. That guy that's playing that stuff typically is not a club DJ.
No.
Oh, that's mixing. Most people wouldn't know a mix if it punched them in the nose.
No.
They're listening, did you play my song? That's what they're listening for. Now, here's the other part of it. The idea that you can go and set up and be a bedroom DJ, you buy equipment, well, it only means that if you call yourself good, there's a lot more competition. And that just means that you got to step your game up. Because I got to
Right.
tell you something. If you got these people that are fooling around with this stuff in their bedrooms and they stay at it, sooner or later, they're going to get better and better and better. Now,
Guess what?
Huh?
I started in the bedroom.
Yeah, hey, listen.
I just wasn't able to go live.
Listen. Everybody starts somewhere.
Right.
Everybody, and I'll tell you, even the people with all the high level this, high level that, I'll bet you if you listen to their stories, they didn't start out that way. So I think we have to give a little bit of a grace and a little bit of room for the ones who are coming up and just getting started or whatever. And the other part I'm going to add to that is that, hey, listen, let's say they invested $10,000 in equipment and they don't like DJing. What did I just do? On the other hand, for less than $1,000, maybe hundreds of bucks, and maybe some borrowed equipment, I can find out if I'm even feeling this whole thing.
Exactly.
Just some thoughts. I don't know. What are your thoughts? And then I have one more question.
I understand exactly what you're talking about. It's just it's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
Perspective. It's how you feel about this to make this happen. How you feel about that versus what other people think. Mm-hmm. It's like you said. It's the same thing. It's a Chevy or Ford. Mm-hmm. Which one can you afford?
Hey. Yeah, I can afford. Yeah. Hey, listen. Do I say I'm not going to drive till I can buy a Bentley? Am I saying I'm not going to drive until then? Hey, am I going to say I'm not going to drive until I get a Maybach? Are you kidding me? I'm not going to fly in a plane till I can buy my own jet. What are you talking about? Perspective.
Never.
Perspective.
Never.
Okay. Now,
never.
I'm getting ready to cuss here, and forgive me for all the people. I'm going to say the 4-letter word that starts with S. Are you ready?
Okay, talk to me.
Sync. Ho!
I don't even look at that button. I have no idea what it is. I think I tried it maybe once just to see what it does. And I'm sitting there looking at it. That's something. It's like some newfangled stuff for newfangled. Goodness, I'm sounding like my grandmother now. That's just some stuff to keep the short expansion mind engaged.
Okay.
Yeah, like right now, it's really hard to watch TV for a long period of time. You know what I attribute that to? TikTok. 30 seconds at a time. We got to keep ourselves interested. So the sync button is doing just that. Keep us interested. Oh, what did that button do? Oh yeah, it made it easier. Yeah, so I don't have to think about things. Now I always count music no matter what. And I hear the transitions come in. No matter what it is, the beats are in my head. Sync button I don't need. I learned off a turntable. Are you kidding me? There was no sync button. You had to get it right, or it'll be like your boy said in the movie. It'll be like Chinese water torture. Yeah. You hear the galloping coming down the street.
I got you.
So you had to be on point.
Right. Well,
you had to be.
Well, I got to tell you, I don't know. For me, from my perspective, I don't really care one way or the other what people do. My thing is that, can you play the music? Can you keep the floor going? Can you?
Yep.
Now, again, some people choose to. Some people choose to use the sync button. And I got to tell you, there are people that you probably know that use the sync button, especially if they're running 3 and 4 decks. But again, like I say, it's a big thing. It's a big thing, and like I say, I'm sorry if I cussed at you.
Listen to me. I don't even know what the sync button is. I see it there. You know how like you see something and then you don't actually see it because you don't use it.
Yeah, I got you.
I don't use it.
I got you.
I've never had any need to.
Got you.
But I tell you one thing: the sync button won't help you in classics.
It won't. Anytime it won't. So, and a big part of that is because you got a human being instead of a machine. You got a machine on most of the music today is made electronically, and just the beat flows. But when you got that live drummer, let's say the live drummer misses the beat on this, or he catches it up, or she catches it up on the next one, and you're running straight sync, you missed it. So I would say, to be fair, I really don't care what people use. That's their choice. But I will tell you, if you get in a situation where you gotta play classics or some of the stuff from back in the day, you're gonna be in a world of hurt.
Yeah. Listen,
So,
you gotta ride that pitch, baby. You
oh
gotta
yeah,
ride that pitch.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Listen,
I,
I've been thrown off plenty of times, but then I'm like, wait, hold on a second, I got this.
yeah, it does require you to really learn those things. If not, you're gonna have to stay away from certain kinds of music. That's the
Yeah, I
deal,
know.
you know.
You know what's really crazy to me? That's just like I think there should be a license to become a DJ. You have to
Really?
go through certain stuff
Okay.
to get there. A transition, just like you gotta take a test to get your driver's license. You gotta take a test to get out of school. You should have to take a test to become a DJ before they even sell you equipment. It should be like that. Let me see your license. Oh, it's expired. You got to renew. You can't come out here like this. And my thing is, I understand how the technology makes everybody a little bit more, I guess, I would say soft or whatever the case is. I say these soft jokers need to go back, learn how to buy records, learn how to create these records, not on the computer, carry those things to my party, carry all the equipment, and I'm gonna tell you that the heaviest amp out there, that CS 400, that CS 800,
PV,
the big bricks. Get them carrying those around and see how much they appreciate what they got now. You know.
Okay, I hear you. Well, okay, I hear you. You know. So, but again, we move on and. We let some things go and we hold on to other things, and we all have our sacred cows. I mean, I talk to people, and this is not related, but you'll see the point, is that a lot of people don't know how to drive a stick in a car. And would you say they're drivers or not? I know how to drive a stick. All right, I had a stick on multiple cars. Yep. So, okay, but watch this. How far you want to go back? You want to go to a payphone and make phone calls and have to have a pocket full of quarters? Or would you rather use your cell
stand
phone?
out on the block waiting for somebody to rob you? Wait, hold on a second. Oh, that color's funny. Wait, he's slowing down.
Yeah. So there's all this technology that's going on.
Yeah.
But anyway. Okay. Where's house music headed from your standpoint?
Where is it going?
Mm-hmm.
I had a conversation with a friend of mine a while back. House music is going in a good direction, but the only thing is we're losing the listeners, the ones that could keep it going.
Talk to me.
For the foremost, the people that are going out to these events, listening to the music, are slowly but surely, I'm going to do it one day, are dying off, and they're not revisiting or putting their the younger helping the younger generation understand what's going on with that type of music, because and in our reality, as growing up in the ranks of the music, it has a stigmatism of being the happy music. It was all supposed to be, oh, that's the gay music. No, it's not. It's music. Music makes you feel good. They associated that with that stigma, and it's not that. Music is house music is a feeling. It's something that you can't explain. You just feel it down from the inside, and it brings stuff out of you, like that you never knew that was there, and it just gives you a good feeling of hope, encouragement. Like your problems could go away just by listening to this, and you could get spawn ideas. It's really funny. You say that too, because my mother's birthday was the 25th of November.
All right, now
Sagittarius. Sagittarius. Right, yeah, Sagittarius. So I took her down to Parks Casino, and we talking. I was with my friend Tina. She came down with us too, and I played the Aiken for her.
Oh, okay.
And she's like, "What's that? Ooh, what's that?" She's bouncing around. She's like, "Ooh, what's that?" She's like, "I like that." Oh, it just brings something out of me. We. And then she got all kinds of ideas where she wanted to do a 75th birthday party, and she's like, "This is the song that I'm using." So, in all honesty, there's no type of music in this world that brings that type of feeling out of someone that never heard the song before, but just it infects them in such a way that it brings out a surreal feeling in their brain. It just makes them feel good instantly, no matter how you look at it. Listening to this stuff, and so to go back to where it's heading, the only way it's going to keep going is if we reintroduce it to our younger people, get them involved in it, and make them understand that this music does something for the culture because it's backed in and based in the African drive. You know, the African music. It's what we became to make this to be out of not desperation, but separation from the regular world, and we could call it our own. But they got to understand that the younger generation has to understand that and embrace it.
So I guess I have two questions and just get your thoughts. Okay, so every generation has their music. That's
Right.
been my experience.
Mhm.
So for example, like I do a lot of parties, mostly open set parties.
Right.
I got parties. I got 2 parties coming up this week. These are corporate events, and
That's the only way you can survive, honestly,
yeah.
if you're doing this for a living.
Yeah. So I have 2 parties coming up, and what I noticed is that in that room, there's going to be people who were big back in the '60s. There were going to be people big back in the '70s, and they tend to feel like the music that followed them was garbage.
Of course.
And then on the other hand, okay, so and the music that before them they weren't really checking for. So like it's like, for example, just from my personal experience, okay, it's easy enough to get a Motown person to dance to Motown music. But to play big band for them, they might listen to 1 or 2, but you're not going to do that all night with them. So here's my
No.
question. How do we get the younger people, like, which is a very, very common thought, how do we get them to embrace the music that, say, we're doing, which a lot of them consider barbecue music, a lot of them consider old folks music, whatever, when their contemporaries are listening to hip-hop, and trap is very popular, of course, you know, some R&B, but some people are just straight up hip-hop. They don't want to hear anything else, not even they want to hear an R&B. I mean, what would be your thoughts on how do we get them to do that, to embrace our stuff?
Now, when I grew up, what we call classics was on the radio. The Keep On,
Yeah.
the Rush, what was the other, Seventh Heaven. They were playing all this stuff on the radio.
Gotcha.
As the generations changed, the music changed. They were riding the cash cow, what they thought was popular at the time, and the radio rotation changed. Like you remember when Tony Humphries used to be on the radio. It used to be like 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Then it got pushed to 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Then it got pushed to 11 o'clock.
I know.
Then it got pushed to 12. Now you listen to it after 1 o'clock. You know, that's just a transition. It's they attribute music listeners to money sales.
Right.
They can't if they can't sell your music, the sponsors aren't going to come.
Right.
So what we would have to do is actually do what we're doing now, keep persevering, and getting our kids interested in the music. DJ Quan is keeping it alive for the foremost, because he's on the prime time. He's playing the music, and eventually, sooner or later, somebody's going to listen. Somebody's going to like a song that they're playing. DJ Wala, he plays sets that has music in it that actually grown folks can understand and listen to. He's on the radio. He's doing his thing too. The thing that's happening is these people don't really like this music that's out there. They only like it because they hear it through repetition.
Interesting. All right.
They hear it through repetition. Now, a lot of them genuinely might like the song. It's been plenty of songs that came on the radio. I'm like, oh my god, they playing this. Then all of a sudden you see yourself bouncing to it, and eventually you're gonna like it. Oh god, this is like the best thing. As soon as you hit the club, it comes on, and you're like, and you have the best time ever. Yeah. And this is the thing. If people get scared of something that they're not familiar with.
Yeah.
But this is what we need to do is refamiliarize people with a base, a culture, and bring it back into existence before, I think not saying it's too late. I just say to keep it alive. It has to. It's really crazy because like most of our music is in spots. You hear Chicago, Baltimore, New York, parts of New York, Jersey, definitely. You can't go anywhere without having what they call club music, house music. Oh yeah, I got Jersey stuff. I got that. No, you got to be able to understand that this is a big deal, and we need to be heard. Should be heard.
Right. Let me give you a shout out. Marcus Garris in the house. Ron DJ Cadillac. Kid Kennedy, what's up?
Hey y'all, what's going on?
Yeah. So, hey, we're getting down to the wire here. What's on the horizon for you that you can share? Put it that way.
Me on the horizon. I have a couple of things that's going on. Of course, I'm working with Marcus as well. House of Runway. I support his events. Have been friends for forever. That's my man. I do have a friend that does a podcast as well. He interviews DJs as well as you do. He's just starting out. And the podcast is Mixologist Podcast. It's on YouTube right now. Okay. Check it out. DJ Unique, DJ SMB. And we got plans to do a few things as well as far as parties go. So be on the lookout for that. I know in March, House of Runway, we're doing another event coming up soon. TBA. Okay. TBA, big things are happening. I'm going to insert myself back into the DJ game, of course. That's basically what's happening for me right now. Like I said in the beginning, once this stops being fun, I'm gonna stop doing it. But it's not gonna stop. I don't think it ever will. I done bought too much equipment to say say it's gonna stop.
Too late.
Listen to me right now. I got enough right now in my music room to do about 3-4 parties in a night. You know what I'm talking about? So it's never gonna stop at all. Never. Never gonna stop. And as long as I can put smiles on people's faces, that's my whole thing. Whether MCing, whether DJing, whether just helping out and getting people to have a good time, because I like to dance too.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to take it a little bit easy right now because I had 2 hips replaced, so I gotta work my way back up into that. Yeah.
Now, do you produce, or is that on your bucket list?
The production. I try my hands at that. It's too time consuming.
Okay.
For me,
it's time.
I enjoy the process, but I don't want to be the process.
Got you.
I enjoyed it. I seen it, and I'm looking. Oh man, I went over to a friend of mine's house at one time, and I'm like, yo, I wanted to re-edit "Love Is the Message," and I gave him I'm like, yo, let's do this. I gave him the ideas of what I wanted to do, and after about half an hour, I'm like, man, we ain't even close to where we gotta be. Nah, that's okay. I'm good. I'm good. You definitely have to have a passion for that.
Any places or DJs that you want to play with that you haven't, who you play with? Any places you play? Anybody on your
places? Oh man, I would have loved to want to play at the garage.
How about
I would have wanted that sound system. I would have wanted to love to play there. there hasn't really been any other place where I really want to play like that. You know,
Okay.
I've visited the 88s, the Zanzibars, and the Sensations, and everywhere else. I mean, I played along beside Jihad when they was at Eclipse with Keith Thompson.
Mm-hmm.
I mean Keith Johnson. Sorry,
Keith Johnson. Right?
But I'm thinking of the producer.
Okay. Right.
um,
Blaze, yeah.
I've been to a couple of Naeem joints, and I always love Naeem because his classic set to me is like the best.
You're known for that.
So definitely being beside him would be a thing. Jihad, of course. You know, there's, but in all honesty, you know, I would want to be on the stage. I had a newfound love now. I actually went back and saw a lot of the Chosen Few movements,
Right.
and I would definitely want to play with Alan King.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
All right. I want to just say one thing before we wrap it up. All right. So you go back in the day, so you understand at a level and have a range that, say, maybe a lot of DJs may not have. This past Friday, I'm calling it the Furious Five.
Okay.
We're at the event for Jihad Muhammad, his birthday party.
Right.
It was at the Robert Treat Hotel. Most people would not think to do something like that because of the cost involved and the size of the rooms. So, we had a packed house. On the bill, Omar Abdallah, Naeem Johnson.
Right.
Okay, right there you can stop, but I'm going to keep going. Mark Francis. Beloved. And Jihad Muhammad. I got to tell you, it was amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing. And you know what else, too, was pretty interesting? Is that I don't know if Omar produces. He may, but I'm not sure. But I know Naeem, Mark Francis, Beloved, and Jihad produce. And just to hear their different perspectives and their interpretations of the music. Yes, Naeem played a lot of classics, but what a lot of people know him for that. But what a lot of people don't also realize, what is he playing in between those classics? He's playing other hot stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So and then you got Jihad. Forget about it. I mean, Mark Francis is. Forget about it. His flow is crazy. I mean, all of them are headliners. So you got them all in one room at one time. That was an amazing feat that Jihad pulled off. But, you know, he's maybe one of the few that can actually pull that off like that and get all of them in one room at one time, you know. So, anyway, I just, when you mentioned Jihad, I just wanted to jump in.
Listen to me. I heard the sets.
Okay.
And, you know, the everybody's style was totally different. The music, the selection that they played, the way they played them, it kept me interested the whole time. I was mad because I was at home watching it. I wanted to be there. Honestly, I wanted to be there. Well, listen, all my heart and soul was there, but just my body wasn't.
You went R. Kelly for a minute. I got you.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
One other point I would like to make, and Marcus and I jokingly call them the usual suspects. But what I would say two things. Number one, I say that with love, meaning that these people are doing many of the events, a lot of the events. But what a lot of people are not really realizing is that on that stage, you had 100+ years of experience, number one.
Yeah.
Okay, you've got guys who've collectively, they've traveled they're internationally.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you've got guys that have produced hundreds and hundreds of tracks and play that. But also, too, a lot of people don't realize is that everything wasn't a hit in terms of the efforts they put out, whether it was the events they did, events they played, whether it's the music they. So, and if you talk to them, you will hear that. Hey, listen, this it's a grueling process. So when I saw that come together like that, I was like, amazing. It's like all the stars lined up last Friday night. So anyway, that's my little take on it.
Listen, you're gonna have some songs that you hear in the future that's gonna take you right back to that party and that good time.
Okay. Well, as we come in for a soft landing, you have any final thoughts or anything that you would like to highlight?
Man, right now, you can find me on all platforms. DJ Kulu, or you'll hear Lucius Green. That's YouTube. That's Facebook. If you're not already my friend, Instagram. I even dabble on TikTok a little bit. I put the little short clips up on there, and I put them on all the platforms just to keep busy, actually stay relevant. You're only as good as your last mixtape.
Yeah. You know what? We didn't cover that. Let's do that for a minute. Mixtapes. You were one of the first ones in this area, if not maybe the one to really go hard with the mixtapes, and a lot of people followed you. Talk to us about that and how that came about.
Oh man, it goes back to Spinbad again.
Okay, gotcha.
DJ Spinbad. This is about 92, 91, 92. Got laid off of work. He happened to move upstairs from where I was living at the time. Like, oh man, you should start selling tapes. I'm like, he can't make no money selling tapes. I'm thinking in my head. I didn't say that out loud. And from there, I sold tapes, and I always kept on it because I didn't really care. This was a hobby to me at the time. I was getting $273 a month. A week from unemployment, so I didn't really care at all.
Okay.
And then eventually, people started noticing me, and I wound up at White Castle Elizabeth Avenue.
I'm gonna ask you about the White
and
Castle.
I was there from so long, 2000. 93 up until like 2007, selling tapes. A lot of people didn't even know that was me on the that was actually making the tapes and CDs. Tapes, I had a lot of different tapes. I used to name the tapes, so I didn't have a number per se, so I can't even put a number of how many mixtapes that I've actually done. But I do have I did have the understanding to know where everything was going. Remember that transition where I said I didn't want to go from vinyl to CD?
Gotcha.
I seen the CD thing happening, and I was a little disappointed because I there were CDs out, but there wasn't CDs that were curved to what the streets wanted. I was in the streets. I know what music that they liked, and this and that, and then I came out with my first CD. It was called Brick House.
Okay.
Yeah, Brick House. I'm still trying to find the original. Somebody got one out there. The original was actually an actual pressing. We got we sent that out to disc makers to get made.
Okay.
It has bricks on the front. DJ Kulu with the bricks, and it had every song that you could possibly want on CD. Everything that you want, and that was the beginning stages of my my CD transition. Making that, and oh man, as far as the tapes, I can go back and say I probably had like 150, 100, 200 plus tapes that I've done.
Gotcha.
CDs, oh my God, we could probably do like around the same, possibly more, that I had out there in rotation, and people would come as far as is North Carolina, Atlanta, just to get my music.
Wow.
I always stayed humble. I didn't really get a big head about it. I just took it as what it was, you know. And to this day, I'm still that person. You wouldn't even know I was Cool Lou and let somebody introduce you to him.
Okay, that's how cool you were. Okay, I got you.
I'm not trying to beat you up, Dan. You know what I mean? I'm just saying.
It's good though.
But yeah, that's my whole thing. You know, I actually played in a few spots. Uh, 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 I don't know if you remember the Royal Inn. I was there for a few years.
Okay.
They changed it to Zante's
Okay, so I'm from
on
Patterson.
Evergreen.
So.
It was down the street from where Brokers was.
Okay.
I was there. I was. I did a lot of bars. I
Okay.
did a lot of private events. I stayed on that sector more. So you know, I was more behind the scenes. I wasn't in the club like that. But the only thing, the club that was attributed to me was my mixtapes, my mix CDs, and stuff like that. You know, if you hear Cool Lou,
Okay.
that's me.
Okay.
That's me. I need a reverb on that right now.
Okay.
I need a reverb on that right now. But yeah, that's basically me in a nutshell.
Okay.
You know,
Right.
came from vinyl, tapes, CDs, and now MP3s. I'm here.
Yeah.
I can't say I've arrived. I've always been here.
Gotcha.
I've just been dormant. That's it.
Got you. All right. Well, listen. Hopefully you get back active again and that kind of stuff.
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, listen. If people one more time, people want to support you, follow you, keep up with you, how do they do it?
Yes. You can follow me Facebook at DJ Cool Lou. I do have a group. I do have postings that I put up. Like I said, I'm affiliated with House to Runway as well. Mixologist Podcast on YouTube. Check us out. Like I said, DJ Cool Lou. I'm on all platforms. All you gotta do is just type my name in or type in Lucius, not Luscious. Lucius.
I guess it depends on who says it, but go ahead now.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's another story. We'll be here another hour talking about that one. I'm not even gonna get into that one, Dan.
Okay.
Not even. Like that, but yeah, like I said, I'm on all platforms. You can always find me. I'm always posting my work. You'll probably see me dip in and out of parties. I'm always around.
Okay.
I'm approachable.
Okay.
I'm not gonna bite your head off.
Okay.
Not at all. Talk to me, right? You might even get some free music. I don't know.
Lou, how you doing, Lou? Is this right yet? Anyway, talking to you right yet? Anyway.
Yes,
but,
like that, man.
Yeah. But listen, hey, Lou, thanks so much for coming on and gracing us with your presence. And, you know, we had a chance to chop it up. We probably could have gone a lot deeper, but, you know, we do have some time constraints. But thanks for sharing with us. Also want to give Marcus Garrett a big shout out from House to Runway for connecting us. So it's been nothing but good here. So, hey Tina, thanks a lot for the comments. And Tina said, great show, very informative. Thank you very much. Hey DJ Cadillac, thanks for joining us. Marcus is in the house. Hey, all right, so listen, folks, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to go into the Shazam Free Zone. And what we do, we play music that we play brand new music. And the whole point of the Shazam Free Zone is to introduce you to new music. And you can decide whether you like it or you don't. We're just going to play it. We think it needs to be played. We just had one of the songs we've been playing. We played a few weeks back that now has become number one on Track Source. So that's the House Gospel Choir. So if we can, I don't know if we can lead off because we're going to play on Facebook until they shut us down. But lately we've been getting away with it because Facebook doesn't recognize, their algorithms don't recognize these new tracks. But you can certainly go on to Twitch and follow us there. We're on Twitch, we're on Twitter, we're on YouTube, we're on Vimeo, we're on the website. So we're in a lot of places. So I just want to say, hey, one more time, Cool Lou, thank you so much for coming and spending some time with us. So, hey, we're going to go till 3 o'clock in the Savannah Free Zone. You're welcome to hang out if you have to go. Understand that, too. Anybody who wants to hear some new stuff, hang with us. All right, ladies and gentlemen. DJ Dan Soulful House Nation coming to you live from the 8th floor. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. We're going to lead off with DJ Irv. We don't only play it, but we say it. You decide whether it's smash or trash. All right. We're going to lead off with, yeah. Here we go. See you on the other side.